Hello everyone, welcome back to Path for Cloud. So we are discussing the Python basic series in this video. So far we have discussed the how we can install the Python, how you can set your local labs, and then we have discussed some of the variables, functions, print statement. Then we have talked about the conditional expression like if, else, and the nested if condition. And we have something that something called the for loop, right? That what we had discussed with the for loops, where we can iterate over the object in the last video. So today we have that one kind of more loop is there, which is something called the while loop, right? But before we start the while loop, right, I would suggest that if you haven't seen that the previous video, then I would strongly recommend then go back and please have a look on those videos, and then probably we'll discuss with the while loop, right? All right, so I hope you have already gone back and you have seen those videos. So let's start with the while loop, right? So while loop is nothing. See, in the for loop, what we were doing is we know the kind of the condition, right? Like what is the setting? It's an infinite loop basically, right? Because if until unless that condition is true, right? Until the condition is true, it will keep on printing or the executing the code, right? It will not gonna stop. But for loop, that was not the case, right? For loop, what was happening is it was kind of we know that what is that particular stop, right? We need to discuss. If I'll take you back to that one of the for loop, right? Let's say for this was the stuff we were discussing, right? So here you can see what is happening is that welcome to path for cloud, we have set one string, right? And we are just setting that condition, like we are parsing that each and every character to this particular variable, you can say, which I have defined as a letter, right? And from that string, whatever that it gonna parse that particular character, it is just printing that, right? So here you know that it will gonna stop once we reach to the D, and you can see that it has already stopped, because here we know that okay, it is D is the last character in that particular variable string value, right? So obviously there is no, then it will come out and it will stop the execution. Similarly, if you can see that for the digit, it will say this 20, so it will gonna print just 2 and 0, then it will come out from that execution block, right? So that's what we have already discussed, right? But for while it is not the case, right? For while is something that the moment if you are not printing, right, it is infinite, it can print a number of time. Let's say if I'll give you a something called number equal to 19, and let's say if I'm saying number uh, let's say equal, or I will say number is this one, number is greater than 91, and if I'll say print what, print num. So if I'll execute this code, right, so what it will do is it will gonna uh, I have explicitly made this statement, but if I just hit on enter, right, execute this, so it will keep on printing, right? Let's see if I'll just say, okay, print it, run it. You can see that if I'll just try to scroll it down, if it is allowing me, because it is using the all kernel memory and everything, right? So you can see that it is keep on printing, right? If you notice that the scroll bar is going up and up, right? You see. So that way we cannot, I need to explicitly stop this. So that is why I mentioned that this is something that infinite loop, right? Until the condition is met, it will keep on printing. There is no way that you can come out from that particular execution block. It will keep on printing, right? So let me try to delete it, and I will show you like how we can put this condition, but probably let's see. Okay, wait. Come on. Okay, let me pause my video and I will come back. Okay, so finally, what happened is that this code was that was consumed all memory and this page was unresponsive, and I just restarted and I have deleted that code. Now you can see that we are good, right? So make sure that whenever you are putting, right, the same thing, if I'll just say num equal to, let's say I just say 10, okay, and if I'll say number equal to, let's say greater than and equal to 15, okay, what I'm saying is print num. As of now, it will not print, right? Because number is something called this much less than this 15, right? So it will keep on printing. But what I want to do is, I would say, okay, do one thing, just increase this number by 1, okay? And let's try. Now you can see what it has done is, we have defined that number equal to 10, and it is printing, okay, num is, if num is less than or equal to 15, then print that number, and while printing, just increase that number by 1. Now again it will go back and it will, now the num is 11. Again it will check, okay, the condition is still true. It will print 11. Then it made 11 to 12. Then go 12, 13, 14, 15. And this time the 15 is equal to 15, right? So it will just print and come. Again it will come. It will say, okay, 16. No, now the condition is not true and I need to exit, right? So that is why that's something that it is most important that you need to define this particular thing. Otherwise, it will not uh, give you a correct number, right? So that's what. Let's say if I'll just give you something called, uh, let's say we have defined one list, okay? I will say num list, okay? And I will define 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, right? I will define this. If you print, so it will gonna print this, right? All right, we have the defined. And now if I want to, let's say kind of want to check like how many elements we have in this layer, right? So for that also, what we can do is we can define this rule. Let's say I would say while count, okay, count we need to define, right? Obviously. Let's say I will start with the 0, count equal to 0, and I will say while and count, and I am using the length function, right? If you remember, we have something called length function for this uh, list. If you see that it is printing the length of that, and that's what I just want to print with the while loop, right? So how you can do it? I will just take the leverage of the same functionality from the length function. I will just say this, okay? And what I will do is I will say count plus 1, fine, and then that's it, yeah, right? And I would say print count. Let's see, 5. If you want to make it more interactive, then you can say total element in list are, and you can print like this. Fine. So now you can see that, right? The same thing. So what I'm trying to convey is like with the while loop also, if you want to do some kind of internal functions execution, that's also you can do, right? Similarly, you can do, I think, the more than list. Let's say if you have, let's say I will have, say, let's say something called student list. Okay. What I will do is I will define student list. I will say Sam, I will say Tom, I will say Alice, and I will say, let's say Kitty. Okay. So these 4 student I have, and what I will do is I will define the marks list as well. I'm just giving some one random example. So I would say, let's say Sam got an 90 marks, Tom gets 94, Alice got 85, and Kitty got 99. Right? So these are the lists already defined, right? Now what I want to do is I want to set, I want to count these, right? I just print that how many marks Sam got, how many marks Tom got. I want to print in that particular one descriptive or maybe that defined statement, right? So how we can do it? Let's say I will again define that count equal to 0, okay? And this time I will say while count, and I am gonna print the length of that any of the let's say I would say student list. Same thing which we did in the last example, right? And now what it will do is it will gonna print, let's say I would say student, and then I would say student underscore list. You know that that indexing we have done when we were discussing this. So same thing I will do here. What, but this time I would pass this value using the while loop. So student name we got, right? Got marks, and then got marks in total is, and then I would say marks underscore list, and similarly I would say count. All right, so let's try this. I hope it is fine. And then again, what it will do, we will increase the one count. And let's try. Yeah, we got it. So let me explain again, and then probably we will wind up for today. What it is doing is we have to list is defined, right? Student list where we have some name of the student, we have the marks list, we have some marks for those student, right? What I'm trying to do is I just want to print that like student Sam got marks in total is, and then I want to print the marks of the Sam. So now what I have done is I would say that count equal to 0 because I need to set some particular beginning of that particular condition, right? So I will start with the 0, right? So what I am saying is the length of student list. Similarly, if you count this, right? So here also we are getting the 5. So here we have 4. So it will gonna check the condition that okay, 0 is less than 4. Yes, obviously it is less than 4, right? So what it will do, it will gonna print this is a string, so it will gonna print the same student list, that is that list of the name, and count you can see that it is 0, right? So what if you will print like this, like student underscore list, and I would say 0, right? Okay, so you can see it is printing the Sam, right? Similarly, if the marks it is 0, then obviously it will gonna print 90. We got this. Next time what will happen is count become 1 now. Now again we'll check, and what it will do is it will check the indexing value for 1, and this time it will got Tom, right? Similarly, for the mark list, if I would say for the mark list, if it do the same thing with the same indexing value, which is 1, it got the 94, which is this one, the second indexing value, and it will keep on doing, and here it will gonna 5, and it will check okay 5 is less than 4, which is not mathematical true, and it will exit from that execution block, right? So that's how that while loop we can do, and the previous that we have discussed something called that for loop, right? So that's what. So that's it, guys, from today's video. So probably in next video we will discuss the break and continue, which is nothing that which we can just do it in the for and while loop, right? So yeah, that's it. And please take care of yourself. And if you enjoy my video, then please share and subscribe my channel. And in next video, we will see that how we can use the break and continue statement within inside the loops. All right then, thank you, and I will meet you in next, and we'll take a pause from here today. Bye bye.